last fundraiser. But with Q, you know, they're really like working events. Obviously, you guys can tell how straight up business it is, how different it is. I've been hearing that from so many of you guys. But you know, utilizing these promos, utilizing this comp plan change, and just having a good game plan coming out of here. I don't know that sometimes we're looking for like a secret sauce of the game plan. It's usually, you know, just more of the same. But we definitely want to capitalize on all this. So I just asked her to give us some pointers. But thanks for being here.
Well, I'm so honored to have been asked. Both these girls here mean a lot to me. They are the OGs in terms of being here. You know, there's two in the back as well. And then Beth came to. So we have a couple of OGs that literally been here.
Raise your hand if you're an OG.
OG. Ashley, oh, you're right here. Yeah.
Ashley, you're OG. If you enrolled in 2018,
if you enrolled in 2018, you're old as dirt. No, just kidding.
You all need collagen.
I'm kidding. But I really, you know, I'm excited for all the new growth. We're extremely blessed to have all of you newbies here. The OGs will always have a special place in my heart because they have seen the evolution of this company. And, you know, back then in 2018, Ashley can attest to this. Well, Shannon, oh my gosh, the products labeling and the packaging. Like,
She was like, remember that blue and white website? Today, it's so fun.
No, I remember when Jake asked me, like, why are you, because at first I was going to say no. He was like, what makes me say no? I'm like, well, I'm not a geriatric, and I don't think
It was a product line catered to, you know, 60, 70, 80-year-olds, which is awesome.
Great for that.
But, yes, I'm not joking when I say, it's just kind of fun to think back on certain little moments, but there was a product that we had that would have never translated to the masses. Literally, you had to stick this instrument in your mouth. It's horribly phallic, but anyways. It was, what's that?
Dennis is the true OG.
Oh my gosh, perfect timing. He is the true OG member.
Yes.
You probably remember this instrument that we were going to maybe stick under our mouths at convention. This like thing.
Like a thermometer?
The blood vessel for Prime. We were going to have this product called Prime. And it was going to track how great your blood vessels in your mouth were. I mean, literally, you guys, we've come a long way. It was like it was very catered to the clinician, doctor, higher end nurse, medical field. Okay, but I also knew. I mean, I'm not that bright, but I also knew though. Okay, if these products did 15 million. With all these medical health professionals who are not salespeople, and medical health professionals have signed off, like this stuff is legit, it's great, and they did 15 million without the compensation plan we have today, what's going to happen when we implement that compensation plan and make the branding, you know, more relevant? Right? I call it sexy, right? Hot. And so the products themselves, from day one, have been phenomenal. You know, the base of it, QMax, that was a game changer for me. Understanding the science and the paperwork and the documentation behind QMax, and now of course it's QMax Premium. It's evolved as it should. You know, Jake Spencer had something that he told me 4 years ago. He said, "Let me see your cell phone." And this is straight business like tip right here. And I showed him my cell phone. He goes, "Would you use a cell phone that's 20 years old?" And I said, "Oh, no, I mean
The Razor flip phone?
like what? Like not even. No, she's
This
such
is like car phone.
she's such a baby that like they used to be big boxes in the car, and it was not a cell phone, it was a car phone. Okay? My dad to this day only like he thinks it's called a car phone still. And I call him, he doesn't answer. When he gets to the car, "Oh, did you call? I'm calling you back from the car phone." I'm like, "Okay, you can take the phone out of the car now. And you can stay on your person." And, poor dad. Anyhow, I knew there was something very special here. And I knew that Jake and Mark were going to advance the products as we needed evolve. And I knew the compensation plan was going to be our #1 product by far. But I also have seen the compensation plan get better. I mean, we did have the original, 2018 February actually, when I first looked at the company, we did have the compensation plan you all know now, without, of course, the enhancement today that I believe truly is going to completely change the company from here on out.
Yeah.
I believe in the stats, because I know it firsthand, 9 years in the business. How many years now? 11. Five. Dennis, how long have you been in network marketing? 8, okay. Anybody else longer than 11 years in an industry? Okay, Shannon? 5 years in industry?
Since 05.
05, sorry. Oh, okay, I gotta do the math on that.
So how many years?
Okay, so Shannon, little Shannon's, okay, we understand a little bit in, the fact that most people do not recruit, and end up having big teams, okay? It's very defeating, for the everyday person when that doesn't happen. However, we can go out now and truly build customer teams and get paid the big bucks, right?
That's amazing.
I mean, it's truly amazing. So I really believe it'll set the tone for the entire industry going forward. I really do believe that Q has done things that nobody has done in the industry before. I know Rachel has experience as well, and I know she's been in a couple companies, but I mean, I'm sure Rachel's perspective, I don't mean to put words in Rachel's mouth, but I'm sure you probably have a very different perspective from this convention than any other convention in any other company. I remember what it was like to be a part of a company for 5 years. There was a lot of hype and a lot of singing on stage. And a lot of
Dance party, free cars.
And there was a white party
The white party, I was gonna bring that.
every year,
And the
which
dance
is
party.
great, which is great.
It was
But-
easy to like that too.
It was
But-
fun.
It was attractive.
And that was fun. That
It's
was
always
fun.
fun.
That's fun,
We just
right?
weren't making any money.
The
It's
you
super
know?
fun to party in Vegas.
Right, or the culture. There's lots of division within culture. So I really, really love that we truly get taught on business here, having business mindsets, not MLM mindsets. And so now you have to be the voice piece, right? So now it's kind of like it's much like a walkie-talkie in a way. Now some of you are very young, you don't even know what that means. But I mean, you receive information and you transmit information. Now you're the voice piece for going out and getting customers. You can still build teams, you can still recruit people, absolutely. A lot of my customers have become ambassadors in time because it's a natural share when they have their results and their testimonies and things like that. So it's lifestyle that you get to embrace this Q lifestyle and not have the pressure necessarily, right? So I really love the idea of being able to, again, just kind of take the load off, take the pressure off, give yourself some grace in going out and getting really good at providing customer service. And what customer service means to me, especially after the last 2 years we've had, is connecting and listening to people. So I would urge you and advise you strongly to have conversations that matter and to have conversations where you're connecting and you're listening to what people are truly needing in this world and people that you love. And I think it's going to come down to a couple things. People for the first time ever are going through depression. I've heard it from a lot of my friends over this last year and a half. If they've had
and their kids.
if they've had the vid or not, that is a psychological flu as well. That's a side effect that comes with it. Some people are still trying to, months and months later, get all of that out of their system. So the detoxing, this enzyme now, this product is going to be phenomenal for that. Huge for that, okay? But I would not just look at your network as like dollar signs and targets. I really would bless them with value. I would call, check in. You don't have to make a sale on every phone call, right? But I would be organized because you do run a business. And I would have a list of names, and you could start that tonight. You could really organize your list of names. I know some people don't like this, and that's fine, but this is what's worked for me for 9 years. So list of names and organization on when you've checked in and make sure they're okay. Are they really okay? Like Shannon said, how are your children? How are your grandchildren? How's your spouse? Right? And then like Beth, Beth and I have had this conversation many times. Give them something for free without expecting anything in return. Hey, can I? Don't be stingy. That's right. With your products, if you want to have a successful business, and I'm not saying go beyond what your budgeting needs are. I'm not saying that, but there are phenomenal specials at this convention for a reason. Get your hands on some things to where you can share and bless people, and they will never forget your kindness. They will always do business with you. Okay? And then make sure you keep a track record of being able to follow up with them, being able to reconnect, right? Move them through the process. Eventually, they very well could be a very loyal customer. I like giving out packets of Q Core. I personally really do. I love when people say, oh gosh, I didn't really necessarily feel it, but I felt when I stopped taking that thing. Yeah. What was in that stuff, We all feel that way, right? The probiotic, the Align. My sister, who I've been in this industry 9 years, she's never really bought anything from me, like ever. She happened to enroll because of the collagen. So she's like, okay, I'm very vain, you know this, and I want the collagen. She didn't want anything else that was healthy for her. But I happened to also sample the Align because she said her hip was bothering her. Well, she came to visit me, and I sampled it to her, gave it to her, just a couple, not the whole bottle. But I usually dump out bottles and put them in plastic baggies and write what they are, and then give a nice bottle with just a few inside. So they
Don't recommend doing that with the red. It looks a little weird.
Okay.
I mean, hey.
So I'm saying,
She's saying keep in the baggie for us.
Okay, I keep the baggie.
And then give the bottle to
I like the No. Oh gosh. Okay, no. So I keep the plastic baggie for me. I like people to visualize the pretty packaging with just some samples in it. So if you're getting low on don't throw away your probiotic bottle, your Align bottles. You save them and put a couple of samples in there, and you nail that, right? So my sister was up here last week, and she's like, oh man, my hip's bothering me. I gotta buy that Align. Literally bought it right there on the spot, right? And then I was like, oh, I'll go see if I have some, and luckily I had some to give her because again, this and right away within minutes. And actually, I gave her the comfort too, and that worked immediately as well. So really, I mean, our stuff works. You just have to be a little bit more brave on having those conversations, reaching out, asking people where they're at, how you can help them. I love asking people, hey, I even tell people, hey, I know you know what I do, the ones that I know, right? Is there anything that I can help you with in terms of improving your health? I would love to gift you something. I'd love to send you something. I'd love for you to try something. I'd love your feedback, And I think we need to get louder in social media. Yes, I'm becoming a social media whore. And a real Kristen's helping me. I have to give her credit. She's like, do this one.
Can I just say your collagen thing?
Oh my god.
That was an outtake. I didn't really see that.
Yeah, I didn't see it. No,
If you didn't see it, you didn't see it.
No.
Anyway, it only lasts for 24 hours.
It's hilarious.
I have to explain that to my 12-year-old one day.
Yeah.
So anyhow, so that's one thing on the customer side. I also believe that this weekend hopefully has given you the vision and the belief that you can actually impact someone's life when they join you as a business partner. Brittany Hitch's story, I share it all the time. Sharing the right stories gets you places, right? I've shared Brittany Hitch's story. She literally did not have the couple $100s to get started. I know that Jake and Sarah just paid her $180,000 recently for a monthly check. Okay? I'm not saying that's everybody, and that's not what's going to happen to everybody. But do you know the average family is only about $200 to $500 away per month from being able to pay their bills? That's really, that's like comfortably, they're in the clear, they're in the green, the black, right? Where that is a big difference now that we can actually go teach people, okay, I can help you make a couple $100 telling people about these products. You don't have to worry about the stress of running a team, managing a team, all those things, right? So that's important as well. So anyhow, I just really believe that from here on out, it's hard for companies to go from 15 million to 100 million, which we finally just did, right? It's a lot easier, and it's going to go a lot faster from 100 million to $1 billion.
Yeah.
Mark my words on that. You guys saw that with us. We went from a $100 million company, which I wasn't even a part of at the time, our last project, to $1 billion a couple years later.
Wow.
It went at lightning speed, and I don't want any of you to be left behind. So that's the other thing. Book your airfare for the next convention, commit to it, block it off. As soon as you hear about it, get your ticket so it's an expense you don't have to worry about, or as soon as you can. Some people I teach, put $10 a week aside for your convention fund. People do it for vacations. People do it for Christmas. Why not convention? And then have the mentality that if you're here and you're the only one here on your team, or you're the only one, think about having 3 to 5 of you next time. That's really all we've done as leaders is we count how many people we have at each event. We just want to make sure we have more people at the next event. Because that's how this business gets built, is human bodies. Those are your franchise businesses, people, right? So if you were to have a franchise, you're your only franchise at this point, if you're the only person on your team or you're the only one, right? But as soon as you have somebody else that's also out doing what you're doing, that's a franchise in a lot of respects. So how many franchises do you want all over the world that are representing your business? That's the idea you want to have. So we really would love for all of you to come back with a couple more, and we're going to double and quadruple the size of the company. You just want to make sure you have more cute real estate, right? So anyhow, I say organize your lists. Like, treat this like a business, and it's going to pay you like a business. Don't fall into the trap of reacting and doing what you can here and there. You have a conversation with somebody, you write their name down. You stay very organized with follow-ups. You plug in to your support teams as much as possible. You constantly are starting new conversations. Tomorrow, Frank and I are actually going to train on recruiting. So I hope you're there, 11:15, in your seats tomorrow. Yeah. It's a topic that is near and dear to my heart. I love recruiting. For me, it's actually a lifestyle. Frank used to be annoyed with it with the first year of the business because he was not on board for this whole, he kind of like you're.
Today he told me, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's really funny because we were talking about NFL players, and I used to be years ago with Maseo.
Right.
And I know Kenyatta Wright. And I was telling Frank about it, and he was just like, we need to get with him. That's funny.
Yeah, Frank is all about it now.
Yeah.
I mean, he buys the fancy suits, Thank you, Q.
He shaved. I saw him.
He shaved. I mean, I'm the real boss.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, he did. Did he rip his pants?
Yeah. So he did rip his pants. He did? We just couldn't find where. He could hear it. He was like, looking.
Yeah, but then he totally was like,
Yeah, he like so random. But she was so gross. I was like, we don't. That's so great.
Yeah, you'll get to know him. He's very afraid.
She's like, no, that's my husband.
Yeah, so proud. But in the very beginning, he was not supportive, and I literally had to sneak around and then eventually prove with checks. So if you have an unsupportive spouse, I get it.
That's what he said today, because I chatted with my man in here, and he's very supportive.
Right.
But he's like, he wants to, he said, have him give me a call.
Yeah,
And I was like,
absolutely.
I'll talk to
Show
him.
them money.
Yeah,
That's
that's what he said.
He really does help.
there's 3 things that add running out of a man. And sleep.
And it's like, he wants to, and be like, hey, you can come to work today.
Right. So yeah, this is your time, everybody. I mean, really, we really have to buckle down and run a little harder, push a little bit more. If that's what you want. We're always going to be here, so we will love you no matter what. I guarantee you that. There's somebody on my team that has never enrolled one customer, one ambassador. I always respond to his text messages. I'm always there for him. We don't care if you don't rank up, if you bring in tons of volume, great. But we will run with the runners to get you there faster if that's what you need also. So I would say this is a season that you want to really take advantage of from the 100 million mark to the $1 billion mark. And people do stay on our products when they're educated correctly. Kristen was very instrumental in setting up this customer Facebook social media, you know, room, do you call it experience? What is it? Group? Community that is really gonna rev up all of our businesses, and it hasn't even started yet, and I already know that it's gonna help all of us, you know, facilitate a lot more conversations and get more people that stay on products longer. We see a lot of really great results when people are with products for, you know, 12 months, 18 months longer. You know, I love the story today that Danielle shared with the girl that had experience after 183 days on hemp, because it's a compound effect on what it does to your system. Sometimes you have to get a lot of that junk out for it to start really absorbing and working, so it can take time. But anyhow, any questions or anything you want me to cover specifically? I just think organize your list of names, honestly. And then make sure you're allowed on social media. Tomorrow I'll talk about, you know, going and intentionally doing the right things on social media and having the right kind of conversations. You don't want to just call people or post, you know, flyers of products. There's no attraction marketing in that. That's not attractive necessarily, right? Stories are attractive. Stories sell, facts tell. What would you rather do? You know? So I would get better with storytelling, and this one right here is a genius when it comes to that. I would run ideas by her. I would run ideas by her if you don't have, you know, if you think you don't have a knack for, you know, storytelling. I think Rachel does a great job. Kayla's done a great job of storytelling.
There's a book called Stories That Stick.
Oh, there you go.
Life changing. Kendra Hall. I watched a like seminar of hers, and it's so good.
I love
She's
that
a
nugget. Great.
professional storyteller.
Perfect. Stories That Stick. Kendra Hall. Love it. I haven't read it, but okay, cool.
It's
I'm gonna check
great.
it out. Yeah, so I mean, I'd be more intentional in some areas. You know, again, social media area, making your phone calls. It's uncomfortable, yes, to have sometimes those phone calls. The last thing I'll say that it's worked for me for 9 years is whoever you do business with, they better be doing business with you.
Yes.
Okay?
I like that.
I finally found a hairdresser that was smart enough. We've been joking because my hair has changed so many times in the last 4 years. She signed up right away when she saw the collagen growth because I had to go in so soon, back to back. I mean, it's great, right? And it's like, okay, I had all these hairstylists that just wouldn't do business with me, and that didn't make any sense. At least be a customer, you know? Attorneys, dentists, doctor's offices. Our dentist office has like 6 women that work in there, you know? I would go in to the office. I know this sounds really uncomfortable and some of you are not gonna like this, but I would get outside your comfort zone and try it. Especially you. You walk into a place that you do business, you buy something. Maybe you shop for a shirt, a dress, a jacket, whatever. Sometimes I even have a clipboard. It sounds ridiculous, but I do. I have a clipboard. And I have a couple little things that I have on that clipboard of just like some product information. And I straight up just ask for the sale. I say, hey, I've been a client here for a long time. I'm not trying to put pressure on anybody in this office, but if you are in the market, to improve your health, your sleep, your energy, weight loss, shakes, you know, pain relief, now it's hair, skin, and nails, right?
Yes.
Skin, you know, would you do me a favor and try something? It's a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. It would mean the world to me. This is exactly what I say, word for word. Okay? And I am one customer away from my next rank up, which now all of us, me included, leaders included, we can rank up on the customer side as well. So, you know, that's worked for me for a long time. Years and years I've been training that. And I highly recommend that you do it anywhere that you do business. We just took the car in to get, Shannon knows our horror story, but we took the car in like 4 weeks ago. It was making weird noises, suspension needed, whatever, I don't know. For 4 weeks we were waiting on parts because COVID, and you know, it was crazy. And so we had the rental guy we talked to, the 2 guys at the rental enterprise that we talked to. Frank talked about Rev Sport, gave them some Tiger Sport and, Tiger Sport and Rev samples. They both loved it. They had loved I could tell they went to the gym. The guy that worked on the car, Frank talked to for 4 weeks over and over, built some rapport with him. You know, gave some samples and said, you've been so great for, even though it took so long, you know, it's not his fault. You've been so great, love getting to know you, gave him samples, he's called Frank. I mean, it's like real life, you know? Anywhere you do business, which hopefully is every other day, every week you're doing some sort of business.
Or your storefront.
That's it. You're your own storefront. So just don't regret missed opportunities. You can always run back in. Sometimes I run back in. I go, you were so awesome. You were fun to talk to. The checkout girl at the grocery store. Can I give you a little something? Is there something about your health that you'd love to improve? And I'll run out to my car and I'll come back in and I'll give samples. Sleep spray. I've given sleep sprays away. You know, I've given stuff just because. I'm not saying that they always sign up or do business with me, but when I come through and they recognize me, there's a smile, there's connections being established, they know I'm into health and wellness. Yes.
So then, how do you just, like if they say, yeah, they want to order, or how do you give them your contact info? If
I always
doing
get
that?
theirs.
Like if it's a
I'm
grocery
gonna talk
store
about
or-
this tomorrow too.
Oh, okay.
But I always say, hey, are you on Instagram?
Yeah.
Always say that. And then sometimes, depending upon who they are, they might say, oh yeah, I am here, you know.
Yeah.
Or I'm on Facebook, you know, and I right away add them to my funnel. I don't give a card out. I don't give my information out
Or your
necessarily.
link or anything.
I add them to my funnel, and then that's my business. When you give someone a card or you give them their number,
It gets lost.
it's not a priority for them. It's not that they don't care. It's not that they'll think about you, but they won't necessarily remember or they'll forget.
They'll lose it.
It's not a priority. This is our priority, is our business, right? So you take
What
that.
if they're not on social media?
Then I might say, oh, I'll send you a text. What's your number? And I look down right away. I don't look at them. That's awkward.
Yeah.
I go, hey, what's your number? Let me write it down real quick. Oh, sometimes they'll say, oh, I'll give you my email. Fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just grow your funnel, have more conversations. I've been at this 9 years. I still have not gone through all my warm market. It's complete bullshit if you think you've gone through everyone you know. You are telling yourself a big fat lie.
Yeah.
So don't think that.
Stop giving yourself those and stuff.
Okay? And anytime anybody needs some straight talk, give me a call.
No fluff.
No fluff. I'm happy to because I want you to have results. And I know you won't have them if I kind of say, oh, that's okay. You talk to everyone you know, oh, it's okay. Like, no, go through your cell phone. Be intentional. Write those numbers down. Write those names down. Go through your social media contacts. I have seen more people on my team recruit my own contacts and not me because I haven't done it myself.
Yeah.
I'm not frustrated by it, trust me. But it's like you don't have enough time sometimes to just go through. I mean, not you don't have enough time. You all have all the time we need. I mean, I didn't prioritize the time to go through, and I'm like, oh, I literally have had at least 7 last month. Oh, I joined. You sent me a video years ago. I'm like, but I joined with so and so. Like, great. Welcome to the family. I mean, but it, you know, it's my bad. It's my business error. It's bad. So be very organized and intentional. This is your business. No one's gonna do it for you, right? No one's gonna make it rain. But this is an opportunity of a lifetime. I mean, it is just. I just know every other company out there. I have friends in every company you can think of. We all talk, especially the ones all in the top, ranks. Most companies, they lack innovation. They are still selling products from 5 years ago, which is great, but not great if you're in health and wellness because things evolve, right? Comp plans, that's the big thing. A lot of my friends have been in the industry 11 years, 15 years, 9 years, 10 years, have never made the kind of income the 3 of us have made. Some of them 20 years, never, ever have touched, and they're in the top of their company. Yep. It's just that comp plans that are, written previously, other than Qs, are just antiquated, and they're not really advanced with the times. And like Jake said, very eloquently, that he actually was very straight with the fact that we believe we are going to change the industry.
Yeah.
We think we're going to not try to blast other companies, but in a way, it's going to put companies on blast.
Throw that pyramid scheme stigma out the
Anyhow, I love you guys. I'm very grateful for everybody here. I'm gonna go to the next little party.
Yeah.
And thank you guys. Thanks for making the sacrifice to be here.